Joni Geldenhuys is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time.
They will want to get a good gap established for their first flying lap.
Joni Geldenhuys has completed their outlet. The adrenaline is pumping. Rian Barkhuizen is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. Taihan van Ruyen is on their first flying lap.
Absolutely. Taihan van Ruyen is showing the world what they're made of.
It looks like Jacobus Besson is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right.
These are the moments that really matter. Let's see if Jacobus Besson can deliver.
Jacobus Besson appears focused and prepared driving through sunset.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Ernest Besson is driving through Liuka.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
It's clear that Danny van Ruyen is pushing Thierkaart to the very edge of traction on this qualifying lap.
It's certainly exciting to watch. But let's not forget, the goal is to secure a good starting position for the race.
It's all about precision and speed in qualifying, and Taihan van Ruyen is nailing both.
Let's see if they can put a good marker down.
Taihan van Ruyen is looking relatively composed going through the crocodiles.
I have always loved this section of the track.
Jacobus Besson is on their... As Jacobus Besson completes their outline, they will be hoping they have given themselves enough space on track to fully attack for their first flying lap. Jacobus Besson appears focused and prepared driving through Crowthorne. This is what it's all about. Danny van Ruyen is putting everything. Danny van Ruyen has completed their first flying lap in 1:46.906. Danny van Ruyen is driving through Crowthorne. Rian Barkhuizen will be looking to use this first hot lap to set a solid time in the standings.
They certainly are. This is shaping up to be a great performance by Rian Barkhuizen.
Rian Barkhuizen is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 1.06 seconds down. Taihan van Ruyen is up -0.13. It seems like Taihan van Ruyen is struggling, currently 0.25 off their best pace.
Taihan van Ruyen needs to refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of.
Taihan van Ruyen will be happy having put themselves into fourth in this qualifying session. Joni Geldenhuys is up -0.14.
Looks like Joni Geldenhuys is really cooking with gas out there today.
Anrose Stadler is not as quick as they were hoping for. Annie, any thoughts on what they need to do? Anrose Stadler is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they're 0.21 seconds down. Danny Van Ruyen looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve? It seems like Danny Van Ruyen is struggling, currently 0.92 off their best pace. This is where the mental game comes into play. Andre Martinson is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run.
It's a delicate balance between taking it easy and pushing hard. Let's see how Andre Martinson handles it.
Andre Martinson is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they're 0.44 seconds down. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Ernest Bisson is looking relatively composed going through Clubhouse Bend. Joni Geldenhuys appears focused and prepared driving through Mineshaft.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
It's all about strategy in these early moments. JP Brand is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run and get everything just right.
It's all about finding that balance between staying calm and focused, while also pushing the limits.
Jamie Nichols is not as quick as they were hoping for. Annie, any thoughts on what they need to do? Sean Motter looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve? It seems like Sean Motter is struggling, currently 0.41 off their best pace.
Sean Motter is likely taking a deep breath to try and refocus their efforts.
Jacobus Bisson is not as quick as they were hoping for. Annie, any thoughts on what they need to do? Bradley Taylor is up minus 0.45.
It's amazing what a little bit of adrenaline and a lot of horsepower can do. Bradley Taylor is just showing us all what they're made of.
Bradley Taylor is driving through Cheetah.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
Bradley Taylor has some work to do as that 149.274 is only good enough for 15. Taihan Van Ruyen looks to be off the pace. Annie, what do you think they need to do to improve? Dylan Visagi is not as quick as they were hoping for. Annie, any thoughts on what they need to do?
Well, Peter, they'll need to find those extra tenths of a second by pushing just a little bit harder on the braking and carrying more speed through the corners.
You can feel the tension building. Anrose Stadler is out on track and getting ready to push for their qualifying time.
Patience is key in these early moments, Peter. But I have a feeling Anrose Stadler is going to make it count.
The adrenaline is pumping. Danny Van Ruyen is on their out lap, warming up the tires and getting ready to put in a fast lap time. Danny Van Ruyen is looking relatively composed going through Juxke Sweep.
Spectators near here can smell the smoke wafting from nearby grills.
JP Brand will be happy having put themselves into 5th in this qualifying session. JP Brand appears focused and prepared driving through Crowthorne.
There's a spot near here where the teenagers sneak off to make out.
Rian Barkhuizen is up minus 0.18. It's a dominant performance from Danny Van Ruyen in this qualification session. They have shown exceptional form and are leading the way. Their confidence is shining through, and they are proving why they are considered one of the best in the business. A tough outing for Andre Martinsen in qualifying today. They currently sit in 19th position, which is far from ideal. However, there's a chance for them to regroup, analyze their data, and make some adjustments to their setup to improve their result. Andre Martinsen is driving through Liuka.
There's not much better than sitting near here and watching the cars speed by.
Impressive work from Dylan Visagi, who has claimed 6th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position. It's an impressive showing by Henko van den Berg, currently in 9th. They've showcased their talent, but will need to find those crucial extra tenths to climb higher. It's an impressive showing by Danny Van Ruyen in qualifying. They have set the bar high, leading the way with their exceptional performance. It's a fantastic position to be in, and they will be looking to convert it into a strong race result.
I couldn't agree more, Peter. Danny Van Ruyen is displaying an exceptional level of skill and confidence. They are in a class of their own and have taken control of this qualification session.
Danny Van Ruyen is looking relatively composed going through mineshaft. Impressive display by Joni Geldenhuys, currently sitting in position 10. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Joni Geldenhuys appears focused and prepared driving through the crocodiles. Currently in 4th, Richard Reschke has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
You're spot on, Peter. Richard Reschke's current position of 4th is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
Richard Reschke is driving through Liuka. What a performance from JP Brand. They currently occupy 4th on the grid. It's a good spot for now, but other drivers are trying their hardest to put in a better time and push them down the order.
I couldn't agree more, Peter. JP Brand has done a fantastic job to claim 4th. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
And there goes Richard Reschke, currently in position 5. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes. They're still in with a shot. Rion Barkhuizen will need to be on top of their game starting from 12th on the grid.
They're a fighter, and they won't give up until they've crossed the finish line.
Ernest Besson may have a bit of work to do starting from 13th on the grid. A setback for Ernest Besson, who has just been passed. This is what separates the best from the rest. These drivers are demonstrating their racecraft, searching for any weakness to exploit. It's a true test of skill. Incredible. Heihan Van Ruyen is caught in a fierce battle, with Enro Stadler breathing down their neck 0.2 seconds away, and Danny Van Ruyen just ahead with a gap at 0.1 seconds. It's a test of their racing skills.
I'm on the same page, Peter. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind provide valuable context to understand the challenges faced by Heihan Van Ruyen. It's a constant juggling. They need to seize the right moment to gain an advantage.
You know, Annie, as a former racing driver yourself, give us some insights into what goes through a driver's mind during these quieter moments in a race.
Sure, Peter. During these moments, drivers often take the opportunity to assess their race strategy, monitor their car's weaknesses, and plan their next move. It's all about staying focused and finding the right time to strike.
Henko van den Berg appears to be trying to find a way round Joni Geldenhuis. They could make a move on them in Liuka.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble at the boundary of disaster.
This is what it's all about, folks. Dylan Visagi is in hot pursuit of Henko van den Berg, who's just trying to stay ahead. No room for error here. Sean Motter is breathing down the neck of Dylan Visagi, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
If Sean Motter gets any closer, you might as well ask Dylan Visagi for a piggyback ride.
It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. And Ernest Heather has just won the place from Bradley Taylor.
Yes, but Ernest Heather can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
I don't think that's the fastest way around Kyalami 2016. Oh, this is getting intense. Richard Reschke is just a few car lengths behind Enro Stadler.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curves and pushing the car to its limits.
The pressure is on for Dylan Visagi as they try to catch up to Joni Geldenhuis. The battle for 11 is heating up as Jamie Nichols tries to catch Bradley Taylor in P11. It's a close race between Dylan Visagi and Joni Geldenhuys in 5th. Breaking alert. That won't be ideal for Christian. This is where the race gets really interesting. Joni Geldenhuys is closing in on Dylan Visagi.
The racing is getting tight between Joni Geldenhuys and Dylan Visagi as they battle for P5. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
The race is really heating up. Sean Motter is hunting down Joni Geldenhuys with everything they've got.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Sean Motter needs to stay patient and wait for Joni Geldenhuys to make a mistake.
It's an intense battle for position as Joni Geldenhuys tries to outmaneuver Sean Motter. This is edge of your seat racing. A brilliant maneuver from Joni Geldenhuys, who has just moved up the field.
Impressive. Joni Geldenhuys is really showing their skill and determination out there.
Sean Motter is running 7th. They're trying to catch Joni Geldenhuys.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Sean Motter should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Joni Geldenhuys.
Jamie Nichols wants to close that gap with Bradley Taylor.
If they get too close, they might end up taking the paint off.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Rian Barkhuizen is chasing Jamie Nichols in P12.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Rian Barkhuizen is really walking that fine line.
Hold on a second. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Joni Geldenhuys is on a mission, chasing Sean Motter, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
Stop the press. Looks like that's a mistake for Rian Barkhuizen. This could be costly.
Speed 100 kilometers.
Things are heating up as Joni Geldenhuys tries to close the gap to Sean Motter.
I would not be surprised if they get this pass completed soon.
The pursuit is on. Bradley Taylor is closing the gap on Peter Geldenhuys, determined to claim P12.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Bradley Taylor needs to be careful not to overdo it.
Joni Geldenhuys is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot.
Stop the press. Looks like that's a mistake from Rian Barkhuizen. This could be costly. Bradley Taylor is giving it their all as they chase down Peter Geldenhuys in P12.
The mental game is just as important here. Bradley Taylor must keep their cool while putting pressure on Peter Geldenhuys.
Every move counts now as Warren Dodd works to reel in Jacobus Besson and overtake for P14.
With just 0.4 seconds between them, Warren Dodd will need to close the gap to have hopes of a pass.
The delta between... Stop the press. Looks like that's a mistake from Rian Barkhuizen. This could be costly. This one's going to be tough. Taihan Van Nguyen is getting their elbows out, and there may not be enough time left for Anro Stadler to make a move.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
It seems like Taihan Van Nguyen is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Taihan Van Nguyen needs to refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of.
Sean Motter is holding 6th, but Joni Geldenhuys is right on their tail.
It's not over yet. Joni Geldenhuys is right on Sean Mater's tail, and if they can find just a little bit of extra speed, they might be able to make a move.
This is a thrilling battle as Jacobus Basone edges closer to Bradley Taylor in their fight for future. They're giving it everything they've got. It's a battle of nerves as they push the limits of adhesion, going wheel to wheel in a thrilling display of racing prowess.
You hit the nail on the head, Peter. The elite drivers truly stand out in moments like these. They have a sixth sense for identifying weaknesses and capitalizing on them with surgical precision.
Danny Van Ruyen has a mountain to climb at the moment to close that gap with Peter Geldenhuys. I expect their only hope at this point is that Peter Geldenhuys makes an error.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Danny Van Ruyen is going to have to get more serious with practice if they don't want to be outclassed on the circuit.
Andre Martinsen is placed 15th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Danny Van Ruyen, who is 0.3 seconds behind. The battle for 17 is heating up as Peter Geldenhuys tries to catch Christian Hirsch in P17.
This is where every inch counts. Peter Geldenhuys is pushing hard to close the gap on Christian Hirsch.
Stop the press. Looks like that's a mistake from Rian Barkhuizen. This could be costly. Look at that. Rian Barkhuizen is hot on the tail of Jacobus Basone. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Henko van den Berg trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Ernest Heather. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts.
It's going to be tough for Henko van den Berg, as Ernest Heather seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Henko van den Berg pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
Wow, Ernest Heather is really pushing hard to catch up to Henko van den Berg. There's blood in the water for 8th place. Fantastic move from JP Brand, who has just gained a position.
Yes, JP Brand is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
Oh, the pressure is really getting to JP Brand. They've just lost 9th spot to Bradley Taylor, and they need to regroup quickly. In racing, anything can, and usually does, happen, especially in such an epic showdown. The race is heating up as Henko van den Berg in 8th closes in on Joni Geldenhuys. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they're going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
Bradley Taylor needs to focus if they want to make a move and pass Ernest Heather.
Pressure is on for Jacobus Basone as they try to catch up to Ernest Basone.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Jacobus Basone needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Joni Geldenhuys, who is currently in P7. But Sean Motter is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Joni Geldenhuys.
This is where experience comes into play. Sean Motter has been in this situation before and knows how to defend for position, but Joni Geldenhuys is hungry for success and won't give up easily.
Looks like Bradley Taylor is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curve can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control. The gap is 0.4 seconds now. Bradley Taylor is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Ernest Heather.
It's a battle of wills out there. Each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other. JP Brand is running 17. They are trying to catch Warren Dodd.
The gap between them is just over 0.3 seconds, which can feel like miles if you're trailing and not catching up.
The race is really heating up. JP Brand is hunting down Warren Dodd with everything they've got. What a move. JP Brand has moved up to 13.
Absolutely. JP Brand is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it look easy.
Oh, this is getting intense. Rian Barkhuizen is just a few car lengths behind Jacobus Besson. Christian Hirsch is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. This is not going to be an easy pass to make.
Bradley Taylor is giving it their all as they chase down Ernest Heather in P9.
Bradley Taylor is looking to close the 0.3 second gap and make a pass.
The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Jamie Nichols in 11th chases after Bradley Taylor. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Jamie Nichols needs to find a way to close the gap.
Absolutely. Jamie Nichols in 11th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
We got a close battle as Jacobus Besson closes in on Warren Dodd. Things are heating up as Rian Barkhuizen tries to close the gap to Jacobus Besson.
We'll have to wait to see if Rian Barkhuizen can use the draft to their advantage, or if the lack of downforce will hinder their progress.
This is a thrilling battle as Jamie Nichols edges closer to Bradley Taylor in their fight for P10. He's pulling away. Rian Barkhuizen is increasing the gap to Jacobus Besson. The drivers are showing their mettle today. It's a privilege to witness their skill on this challenging track.
The stakes have never been higher. This is a battle of skill and nerves.
That's right. These drivers are really pushing themselves to the limit, and it's incredible to see the level of focus and determination they're bringing to the track.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of courage to compete at this level, and these drivers have it in spades. Let's hope they can keep it up and give us a race to remember.
Even though Jacobus Besson is a fair way behind Rian Barkhuizen, they can't afford to let their guard down. Rian Barkhuizen is still vulnerable to mistakes. The tension is building as Taihan van Ruyen trails behind Richard Reschke. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Richard Reschke is pushing to maintain the lead, while Taihan van Ruyen is working to close in and challenge for the position. It looks like Rian Barkhuizen is pushing hard to catch up to Warren Dodd. That's not a small gap, but Rian Barkhuizen has what it takes to challenge for the position.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Warren Dodd is not going to give up their position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Rian Barkhuizen in P15 doing everything they can to catch up.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Dylan Visagi will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
That's right, Dylan Visagi in 5th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Taihan Van Ruyen is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
Every move counts now as Jacobus Besson works to reel in Rian Barkhuizen and overtake for P15. The battle for 14 is heating up as Rian Barkhuizen tries to catch Warren Dodd in P14.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Rian Barkhuizen should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Warren Dodd.
Wow, Danny Van Ruyen is really pushing hard in these final moments of the race. And it's a checkered flag for Danny Van Ruyen, who crosses the finish line with a commanding victory. What a phenomenal performance, absolutely dominant today.
And that's why Danny Van Ruyen is one of the best in the business. A dominant display of driving from start to finish, leaving the rest of the pack in the dust.
Anne-Rose Stadler takes second place with a fantastic race.
Impressive performance. They pushed themselves to the limit for a fantastic second place finish.
Impressive drive from Richard Reschke to claim the final spot on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Taihan Van Ruyen, Dylan Visagi, Sean Motter, and Joni Geldenhuis take 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Henko van den Berg, Ernest Heather, Jamie Nichols, and Bradley Taylor brings home 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Finishing 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th is J.P. Brand, Hernes Besson, Warren Dodd, and Rian Barkhuizen. Christian Hirsch, Jacobus Besson, Peter Geldenhuis, and Andre Martinsen in 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Kyalami 2016, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The calm before the storm. I don't know about you, Peter, but I'm expecting some hard-fought on-track battles today.
Starting just behind the front runners in second place is the determined driver, Ernest Heather.
Ernest Heather is looking on for a strong result.
On the third grid slot we have Henko van den Berg.
Let's see what Henko van den Berg can do.
The fourth position is occupied by Joni Geldenhuis. As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Sean Motter starting in fifth position.
Concentration is crucial as they navigate through the pack and try to establish a strong position. The best
The drivers are jockeying for position. JP Brand will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position.
Safety car. Speed 100 kilometers per hour.
This is going to be one hell of a race, I can already feel it.
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended there, Peter.
Talk about a rough beginning. Joni Geldenhuis must feel like they've got the world's heaviest anchor attached to their car, dropping positions at the start. Someone must have told Dylan Visagi this was a parade ride, because they're losing places like they're waving to the crowd.
It's like they hit a speed bump right out of the gate, but if anyone can bounce back, it's Dylan Visagi.
Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here. Anne-Rose Stadler is ninth. Danny Van Ruyen is going to be starting from the end.
We've not seen the best from Danny Van Ruyen yet.
There's not much to report on from Jamie Nichols at the moment. They're just keeping their head down and putting in consistent laps.
Sometimes that's all it takes to secure a good result. Jamie Nichols just needs to stay focused and avoid any mistakes.
The intensity is off the charts as Henko van den Berg hounds Jamie Nichols, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
And it's not just about skill and talent. It's about who has the nerves of steel to handle the pressure and make the right decisions at the right time.
It's a solid performance from Jamie Nichols at the moment. They're holding their position and not getting too caught up in battles around them. This This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Joni Geldenhuys is chasing Jamie Nichols for
The gap between them is now just over 0.4 seconds.
The pressure is on for Danny Van Ruyen as they try to catch up to Joni Geldenhuys.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curves and pushing the car to its limits.
This is getting exciting. Dylan Visagi is looking for any gap that might open up the position. Dylan Visagi wants to find a way round Bradley Taylor. Oh dear, Dylan Visagi has dropped down to 7th. Great driving from Dylan Visagi, who has just gained a place and moved up to 6th. Looks like Ernest Heather is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curve can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control. Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Ernest Heather needs to be careful not to overdo it.
It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Jacobus Besson as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time. This is where the race gets really interesting. Danny Van Ruyen is closing in on Joni Geldenhuys.
The gap between them is just over 0.4 seconds. Can Danny Van Ruyen close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. The action is heating up here as Rian Barkhuizen is in 7th, defending from Dylan Visagi, who is only 0.3 seconds away. Dylan Visagi is running 8th. They're trying to catch Rian Barkhuizen. A great moment for Dylan Visagi, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. To extend their lead over Rian Barkhuizen. They are walking away at this point, and Rian Barkhuizen will have to wait to fight another day.
Yes, it's clear that Ernest Heather is in control out there. They're making it very difficult for Rian Barkhuizen to catch up.
The race is really heating up. Rian Barkhuizen is hunting down Ernest Heather with everything they've got.
It's a game of strategy now as Rian Barkhuizen hunts down Ernest Heather. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
The delta between JP Brand in 10th and Rian Barkhuizen remains over a second, but JP Brand is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap. There's 4 minutes left in this session to make that happen. Warren Dodd is on a mission, chasing Ernest Besson, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Warren Dodd is really walking that fine line.
It's a game of inches now as Joni Geldenhuys. I don't think that's the fastest way to AT Kyalami 2016. Joni Geldenhuys can be on a charge here and they have just put in a quicker lap than Henko van den Berg.
As long as Joni Geldenhuys can maintain that consistency and pace, it will be interesting to see.
Superb driving from Joni Geldenhuys, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. Oh, this is getting intense. Bradley Taylor is just a few car lengths behind Ernest Heather. Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Rian Barkhuizen in 9th and Taihan van Rijn. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.3 seconds. This is what high-octane racing looks like. Taihan van Rijn is breathing down the neck of Rian Barkhuizen, not giving them any room to relax. The race is heating up as JP Brand in 11th closes in on Taihan van Rijn. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with JP Brand in 11th determined to catch up. But we know Taihan van Rijn isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. JP Brand is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Henko van den Berg trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Joni Geldenhuis. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
This is where experience comes into play. Joni Geldenhuis has been in this situation before and knows how to defend her position, when Henko van den Berg is hungry for success and won't give up easily.
Some great driving from Jamie Nichols, who has increased their lead over Joni Geldenhuis and is starting to put some distance between them.
Agreed, Peter. Superb driving there. If they keep this up, this race should be a real thrill ride.
Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition at SIMSPEED Motorsports. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds, or even lead to a crash. But these drivers are up to the challenge, and they're giving it their all. It's clear that SIMSPEED Motorsports really is the place to be for top-quality racing.
It looks like Bradley Taylor is all over Taihan van Rijn. I think they are going to press them through mineshaft and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Peter. That's exactly what I would be doing here, as Taihan van Rijn is going to be aware of them riding their bumper. They need to keep it on the road, or at the very least the rumble strips. The fastest way around is not usually in the grass. As the saying goes, too much weed will slow you down.
The gap between JP Brand and Rian Barkhuizen is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from JP Brand to even allow Rian Barkhuizen to get a look in. Things are heating up as Warren Dodd tries to close the gap to Ernest Besson. Hold on to your hats, folks. Peter Geldenhuis is right on the heels of Warren Dodd, and we're in for a wild ride.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
Look at that. Jamie Nichols is hot on the tail of Dylan Visagi.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Jamie Nichols needs to stay patient and wait for Dylan Visagi to make a mistake.
Seems like Sean Motter is getting in range of Bradley Taylor.
Rubbing's racing, but let's just hope they don't rub it too hard.
The pursuit is on. Peter Geldenhuis is closing the gap on Warren Dodd, determined to claim P14.
The mental game is just as important here. Peter Geldenhuis must keep their cool while putting pressure on Warren Dodd.
This is a thrilling battle as Richard Reschke edges closer to Christian Hirsch in their fight for P16.
With just 0.3 seconds between them. Richard Reshka will need to close the gap to have hopes of a pass.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Dylan Visagi is right behind Joni Geldenhuis, keeping the pressure on for fourth place.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Dylan Visagi is taking that advice to heart today.
Fantastic move from Taihan van Ruyen, who has just gained a position. Annie, can you share some strategies that drivers use to manage tire degradation during breaking news, folks? Disappointing for Taihan van Ruyen, they now find themselves in sixth.
Definitely, but Taihan van Ruyen is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to regain that position.
Oh, the pressure is intense. These three drivers are displaying incredible skill and determination. It's like a high-speed chess match out there.
Couldn't agree more, Peter. This wheel-to-wheel racing is what fans live for. The determination and tenacity shown by these drivers to gain even the smallest advantage is simply awe-inspiring.
JP Brand is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. JP Brand needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
Rising to the occasion and claiming victory would help to cement this driver's legendary status. A tough moment for Peter Geldenhuis, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 17th.
That's got to be frustrating.
Breaking news, folks. Disappointing for Taihan van Ruyen, they now find themselves in 6th.
Definitely, but Taihan van Ruyen is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
This is going to be a nail-biter. Dylan Visagi is defending for their life, but Joni Geldenhuis is right there doing everything they can to force a mistake.
That's right, Dylan Visagi is showing some great form, and it looks like Joni Geldenhuis won't be able to catch up, barring any mistakes.
The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this.
If Taihan van Ruyen isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine. And trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
Joni Geldenhuis is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 1.69 seconds down. The crowd is on its feet as Jamie Nichols chases down Joni Geldenhuis through mineshaft.
It's a thrilling battle for position as these two drivers give it their all. This is racing at its finest.
Henko van den Berg seems to be putting the pressure on Dylan Visagi.
If you don't push the boundaries, you will never know where they are.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. The battle for 9 is heating up as JP Brand tries to catch Sean Motter in P9. While Dylan Visagi is not under immediate threat from Taihan van Ruyen, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
Absolutely, and on the other side of the equation, Taihan van Ruyen can't afford to let up. They have to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arise.
Things are going according to plan for Danny van Ruyen, who is currently first.
Absolutely, and they need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
Oh my, Henko van den Berg is hot on the tail of Joni Geldenhuis. As they come into the S's, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside. Looks like Jamie Nichols is really pushing it to the limit. They're using those curves aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about maintaining that fine line between speed and control.
This one's going to be tough. Sean Motter is getting their elbows out, and there may not be enough time left for JP Brand to make a move.
JP Brand is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless Sean Motter makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to them.
Things are heating up as JP Brand closes in on Sean Motter. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with JP Brand gaining places and Sean Motter losing them.
Go, 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 that's what we want to see.
And JP Brand has just lost the place to Sean Motter.
Indeed, they've been trying so hard to hold their position, but the other drivers are just too strong. Meanwhile, Sean Motter is showing some great pace.
Excellent work from Ernest Heather, who has managed to increase their lead over JP Brand. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are proving to.
That's a really strong performance from Ernest Heather. They're not giving JP Brand any chances to catch up.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really that won't be ideal for Warren Dodd. Danny Van Ruyen is on fire in the last sector. The leader has done it. What an incredible performance from Danny Van Ruyen, who was simply untouchable today. This is a race that will go down in the history books. Impressive second place finish for Enro Stadler.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
What a race from Dylan Visagi. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium. Coming in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th we have Taihan Van Ruyen, Joni Geldenhuis, Henko van den Berg, and Jamie Nichols. Taking 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th is Ernest Heather, Bradley Taylor, Rian Barkhuizen, and Richard Reschke. JP Brand, Hernes Besson, Christian Hirsch, and Warren Dodd claimed 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Jacobus Besson and Sean Motter end in 16th and 17th.